The beautiful paper. Part 2 ending. I have no doubt that she was cheating on me. There was way too much evidence. It bugs me that lied about it even when caught. Even when left and there is nothing to save. So yeah, maybe it's shame, but it still bugs me. I am ready to be ducking lose it. I am so pissed right now I can't see straight. Let me fill you in. Let me recap something first. I have a friend that works with OM. She's slowly trying to push OM into admitting that he and my wife were together. So here we go. Thursday I get a Facebook message from my friend telling me this. From my friend. Okay, get this. This girl, M, was in the patrol car with me the other night. Just her and I. So, she says out of the blue, you remind me of this girl who used to be here named my wife. I was like, what? Then she said, can you keep a secret? She said, yeah, her and OM were together. I acted surprised and she said pretty much the whole command knew about it. The command questioned him and he of course denied it, but M said she used to talk to him about it. I said, man, that's messed up what she did. I guess the command couldn't prove anything. I said, I wonder if they are still seeing each other, and she said yes. I'm pretty sure they do. That got me mad, but it just confirms what I already knew. So I was a little angry. But no biggie. So the wife texts me today. By the way, I changed her name in my phone to Cheating W. It initially starts out about her asking if she is off my car insurance yet. Told I didn't know yet, but I would check. I asked her if she had sent me the separation paperwork back yet. She made a couple of excuses and then said, I will get it to you quickly. I know you want to be done with this. Our text conversation then went like this from there. Her, go no, I want you to move on with your life and be happy and enjoy every moment and experience coming. And purely off the fact I was getting out of the military was enough for me to know I had nothing left to offer you. Me, I'm not sure what you mean. I was happy with you and did not care if you were in military or not. As long as we were a family, I was good. I will move on. I have to because I know that you will never do the things necessary for reconciliation. Not being mean, just honest. I am sorry this happened and I am sorry I wasn't enough for you. I would have been there forever. I hope you and the munchkin find happiness. Her, I wish I could explain everything. What really happened so you would stop wrapping your mind around what you think I did. But we are so far past explanations and the truth wouldn't matter anymore. Take care of yourself and I will send you the paperwork soon. Me, to be honest, the truth would help me at least understand. That's the hardest part for me. I don't know exactly what happened or why. I don't care if you email it to me. Her, I can't. I'd rather just have you and your family mad at me. Besides, like I said that first day, there is no changing or taking back thoughts or opinions. She's mad that I spoke to my family for support. Me, please just talk to me for once. Email me if you prefer. Actually, I prefer that, so you can get all your thoughts down. I think I deserve it just to have peace. Her, that's just it. It has always been about you. Not getting emails. When I was on deployment and she stopped emailing me. You are wronged. What's best for you, what you deserve. God, I can't do this. I am bringing all this up again. Maybe sometimes it's just not good for the other person, and by not talking about it is the only way they can hold on to any sense of themselves they have. Avoiding completely falling apart and holding on to the last threads of their rope purely to be a functioning part of their son's life. I would rather you think what you do than fall into a hole I may never get out of. I won't do that to my son. You were just so set that I was going to be like my first wife, who cheated on me, that you construed everything to justify it. Me, fine, do what you got to do for the boy. I just reacted off of what you were doing. Never thought you would cheat till I was smacked in the face with it. And from there I just reacted off of I was getting from you. And I never got anything positive, so I pushed forward. That's all I could do. Her, God, even there, why would I open up and explain what happened when you can't get over what you think happened? That's why I just pulled away and just let the pieces fall where they would. You were set in your beliefs and so stubborn you called your family to support you and they got you fired up without even talking to me. You are literally clueless about what happened and too blind to see that you just might be wrong, and that is what pushed me away. The fact that I wasn't able to even talk to the man who was supposed to be my partner, my better half, who's supposed to be able to know and accept everything about me, good and bad, but it was so scared to how you would react and look at me I couldn't tell you. And then you turned it into something you could understand and justify to yourself. It just is what it is known. Me, I would have been there for you, but you never let me, and then drove me away when you wouldn't stop seeing him. I know you don't get it, but I had to talk to someone and Lord knows I couldn't talk to you. And you still can't even tell me the truth, which I don't understand why. It's not like it's a big secret. It's all over the command where you worked. He's even been investigated. At least my first wife had the guts to tell me. If you don't have the guts to face my family after making a mistake, then I don't mean enough to be married to. You sit there and tell me I was supposed to be there to free you. 1, you wouldn't let me, you were too busy with him. And 2, where were you for me? You tell me it's always about me. That's complete BS. Her, you are right, it was all over the command. But that was because of me. I told someone who I thought a friend was about what happened between us. and it blew up into 1,000 rumors. I was just informed last week that I was sleeping with about 6 people and sleeping with a mutual friend and her husband. I am done with this. You are not going to stop lying to me. You don't have the least bit of respect for me. I am not going to be your second choice. I am not going to be thrown out like a piece of trash. And even though you said, what happened between us, that implies an emotional affair which is just as bad as sleeping with him. For that I am sorry. I should have trusted you and tried talking to you instead of him. I just didn't think I could bear the look in your eyes. I am really sorry, and maybe it's worse. I am sorry. I wish I could take it back, but I fear we would have ended up in the same place. I still should have given you the opportunity to be there for me. Even far away, I was on deployment. What happened that was so bad that you couldn't bear to see the look in my eyes? I can't. I love you and I will send you the papers soon. I am so completely pissed off and frustrated. I can't believe that she is trying to deny this BS. All the stuff I have found. No way she wasn't sleeping with him. And I don't know what she's talking about with what happened that she couldn't tell me. God only knows what she's cooked up in her head. I can't file until March because of state law. Mandatory waiting period. She is a coward. I just don't understand why she would still lie to me. The milk is spilt. The wench is pregnant. Figuratively. So what's the point? Just ridiculous. I don't know why I allow me to be baited into these conversations with her. Or wonder what I don't know. Or if she's just alluding to something to draw me off. But yeah, I just need to go dark. That's the easiest way. One of the things she said today really sticks to me. Something to the effect of it's better to not talk about something so she doesn't lose it. Read that as I don't want to have to admit I am a piece of trash. Oh well, better luck the next time around I suppose. 1 month later, going to NC has been working pretty well. However, repeatedly in the last couple of weeks, she has been trying to get me to re-engage with her son. I don't think that this is a good idea. I have told her that I don't think I can be part of his life anymore. This makes me feel terribly guilty. But I think it's for the best, and this is why. 1. He is my stepson, so I have no legal rights in his parenting. 2. She is very manipulative. I know her very well, and the minute she gets mad at me, or I start seeing someone else, she will yank him away from me so fast it will make your head spin. 3. She lives in NY now, and I live in VA. How am I ever supposed to see him? It's not like she will ever make any effort to bring him down here. So today she texts me asking if I would like to see him when she comes down here for something. No idea why she's coming down. Didn't ask. Don't care. In late February, I said I would like to, but that I would be out of state for work. She then proceeded to basically talk me into being part of his life again. She even promised that I would never have to talk to her. That she would have her mom do the drop-offs, pickups. When I told her no, she says she understands, that if she were in my position, she would feel the way I do, even though she didn't really cheat on me. Unbelievable. Part of me still feels that she is using the boy to try to keep her hooks in me. Oh, and I finally got the separation paperwork back from her, a whole month after I sent them to her. Funny coincidence, on Monday, I posted something on Facebook about one door closed, another one opens. I said that because I went on a date with a nice girl, and had a good time. Didn't post that part though, and I think it got back to her. We have mutual friends and I am sure she has someone watching my page, and 2 days later I got the separation paperwork. The drama continues. She had the boy call me tonight and talk to me for a while. While it was nice to talk to him, I've made it perfectly clear how I feel this situation. She keeps countering with the fact that my parents are divorced and both stayed in my life. I don't think she gets it, and it's really sad. I think things are starting to settle in for her. She cried a lot, and I am just cold. Get this, several times while I was talking to the boy, he called me by the OM's name. I was like, are you ducking kidding me? She apologized and asked if I was mad. I just told her I don't care anymore. I do, but not much. To be honest, I am to the point where I still think about her. But I don't want her in any way, shape, or form. Haven't for a while. So, I guess that means I am getting better. My biggest heartburn is the boy. He is such a wonderful kid, and he is acting out, getting in trouble, and all the things you could expect from a 5-year-old in this situation. I feel like the biggest scumbag on earth for walking out. But to be honest with you, I don't see staying their lives working out in any kind of positive way. You have seen through my posts how manipulative she is, and I feel like she does want me in his life. But not out of hers. I just don't see it working. I wouldn't be a real father. I will give you a perfect example of how she operates. When we first split, we had 2 vehicles, hers and a truck that was hers before we got married. We sold mine because hers was nicer. We had worked it out where I would drive her truck for a couple of months until I found a new one. One day after I moved out, she kept calling me and texting me wanting her truck back. So I had to jump through hoops to find another one in just a couple days. So as you see, she doesn't do things not in her interest. I guess I am just venting because while I think I made the right decision, I feel terrible about it. I usually ignore the first call. Then she texts making it sound like there is some kind of dire emergency. I know, stupid, but I am past the point of wanting her to call. I can honestly say I am to the point where thinking about aggravates me. Then I just put it away. I just can't wait to have this done and over with, especially since I know there will be more drama when the divorce papers hit her next month. I can't wait to get that behind me. Then I think the world will be a little brighter. So, the WW called last night. Well, she texted me first, saying the boy was going to call and voicemail was fine. So, when they called, I let it go to voicemail. I am not intentionally ignoring him, but I know if I talk to him, I am going to have to talk to her. I have nothing to say to her. I think the fog has worn off for her and she uses the boy as an excuse to talk to me. How ducked up is that? First, she cheats on me in front of him, then uses him to try to talk to me. So frustrated tonight, I really want nothing to do with her, other than to watch her life crumble before I get to leave it forever. But that little boy, he deserves so much better than this. That's what's got me so frustrated. She's slipped from an affair fog to another kind of fog where she will use a 5-year-old to attempt to manipulate me into coming back to her. You know, I know how much she cherishes him, and how good a mother she normally is. One day she is going to look back at this with a clear head and really regret this. Would I like to be part of his life? Yes, but I can't. She is extremely manipulative. So, the minute I start seeing someone else, or do something she doesn't like, she will yank him away from me. I would never get to be a full parent. I would have no legal right from her yanking him away from me. That's why I just can't. I know that her wanting me to engage with him is a ploy to have an excuse to talk and engage with me. And once again I would be dancing to her tune. I just can't do that. My heart is pretty much over her. I have detached from her. I really want nothing from her other than maybe for her to come clean to me. I view this as simple human respect. But mostly I just want a quick easy divorce, so I can continue to erase her from my life. But I feel absolutely terrible about the boy. Hence my many posts. No kid should be subjected to this. A lot of guilt. Well, you guys gave me a lot to think about. Yesterday, I wrote a text message to the boy, on her phone, saying I was sorry I missed his calls. No response. This morning I texted her, saying that I would like to speak of him if he still wants to talk, but I don't have anything to say to her. You know what kind of response I got? Crickets. Yup, nothing. I did this for a couple of reasons. I really don't mind talking to him at all. It's nice. But to see if she would actually have him call if I made it clear to her I didn't want to talk to her. We see how that turned out. She doesn't work, and it's President's Day, so I know he is not in school. I know she's angry at me for not picking up the phone, but she told me when she texted me before they called that voicemail was fine. And I know she's really pissed off because I said I had nothing to say to her. Can't win. So, I got the divorce paperwork from the document preparers today and emailed them to the STBXW. Of course, I got nothing from her. I have just been so angry and frustrated this last couple of weeks. I can file next week, and I think that's what's eating at me. I am really having a hard time sleeping. I think that all this is just bringing back a lot of anger. Frustrated. Is this normal? To be so frustrated and angry. She hasn't even shown any remorse. Tonight, she writes me and says it's better off this way. That she is moving away to Costa Rica this summer. Somehow it just seems she's so much farther ahead than me. I don't understand why this is eating at me so badly. Months later, I have had very limited contact with the STBXW. I have filed the initial round of divorce papers. I had to wait the mandatory 6 months in VA and got her served in the state she lives in now. She threw a fit about that. She was embarrassed, I guess, because she lives with her parents in a small town. Most of my contact has been through email. While mine are strict and to the point, she seems kind of lighthearted, trying to start side conversations. I think that really confuses me. Apparently an amicable divorce means two different things to us. She seems to think that we can laugh and joke. I take it as we are just trying not to screw one another over. Oh well. She even made a comment that so peeved me off. She said something to the effect that this is so sad. I said to her, it's kind of late to be reconsidering the divorce. She said, oh no, it's for the best. It's just people don't like to fail at marriage. For some reason, that sent me through the roof. It was so flippant. Like, oh, I tried to plant a garden and nothing grew. You screwed around on me, burnt our marriage to the ground, took away the only dad your son has known, and it's too bad. I guess that's where I am stuck. How she can act so flippant towards this. Not much remorse, let alone never having the guts to admit to me what you did. And then acting like we are cool. We are just going our separate ways. Things didn't work out. I just can't believe her. Last week some stuff about the divorce papers got a little misunderstood in our emails back and forth. So we had to talk on the phone just to clear things up. Now all of our emails and the limited phone conversations have been civil. But as I was talking to her, her son in the background yells out Hi-OM's name. I love you. Needless to say, this sent my blood boiling. There was a moment of oh crap, silence on her part, and I just hung up the phone. She called back like 5 minutes later and I asked to talk to the boy. Well, of course he recognized me once I got on the phone and we had a good conversation for a few minutes. Conversations with a 5-year-old are only so deep, and I got back on the phone with her. I said what I had to say to finish our business, and she had a very contrite tone to her voice. This weekend at like 4:30 in the morning, I get this text. So, we just had another long, horrible night. Happens every time you talk with him. I don't know what's right, but I do know the not having anything to do with him and then calling is tearing him apart. He misses you like crazy and wanted to drive down and see you. For those of you who aren't familiar with my story, her son was my stepson and we were very close. But with us getting divorced, and her moving to another state and me having absolutely no parental rights, it might be better to stop contact with him too. She has wanted me to call and talk to him in the past, and I have, and it's been okay. But there hasn't been much of that lately. I guess I wrote this in just so if you haven't read my story, I am not some kind of monster. On to my main point. I guess is it normal to be this angry this far out? This frustrated and hurt still? To still be wondering if this was some kind of exit affair, or just needing attention or what? I guess I didn't get a lot of closure, and I don't think that I ever will. That really bothers me. It would mean a lot to me for her to just come out and tell me everything that happened. I know the generalities, but some of the specifics. Not the gross stuff, but when did things really start? Is this the first time? Because looking back I am not sure that it is. Those are my struggles. And sleeping, is that still normal to have so many problems this far out? I get absolutely exhausted but can't sleep. It's like the second my head hits the pillow, my brain kicks into overdrive with this stuff. I have tried meds, which work great, but the military hates having you on the stuff. I have some songs on my phone of thunderstorms, that seems to help a little. But it's a continuing problem. I have for the most part cut myself out of his life, and that was an agonizing decision, trust me, and I know I should try to look at the bright side, that at least I found out what she is now. Instead of 10 or 15 years down the road. Well, I think she is a good parent to a point, although what kind of mother cheats on her husband in front of her 5-year-old is beyond me, and yes, I was afraid she would have tried to manipulate me through him. And I am not so sure she wouldn't have had I allowed her. But I pretty much went dark and I think she got the picture. While I wish things could be different, I think it's for the best that I made the decision I did, especially since she told me she is trying to start a business venture in another country with a friend. So as much as that situation sucks, it's a suck it up and push through it kind of thing. Where I am hung up is with a few of the other items I mentioned above, like how she acts like everything is cool between us. Like we are two old friends who just haven't talked in a long time. I just wonder if it registers in her head how much she hurt me and what she has done to me. And to her son who is having issues, as you can imagine. It just makes me seethe inside, fuming. I am angry and hurt that she tore our lives apart, and shows only the slightest remorse, if any at all. I want her family to know that she is the one that tore down our marriage, not it just didn't work out or whatever BS story she has concocted to make her seem the victim. She is very good at that, and I guess I want some kind of closure, an understanding of why this all happened. Was she just done with the marriage? Although early on when I asked her a similar question she said no. Or was this some kind of ego thing? Someone paying attention to her while I was gone? I want to know why I wasn't worth fighting for at all. Why she wouldn't stop seeing him while saying she didn't want a divorce. And I want her to finally stop lying to me about what happened. I know what happened, just not when it started or why. I am sorry, but you can't tell me when a guy is living at our house for 3 weeks. I was deployed, went on vacation to Disney World with her and the boy. Pictures found of them kissing. When I got back from deployment I found empty emergency contraception packaging in the truck with a receipt with her credit card number on it. And I later found pregnancy tests with some of them used, bought by her while I was gone. The list goes on. The boy says his mom and the aunt said I love you. I confronted her with all this and she said they kissed, but that's it. To me that's just a slap in the face with no respect towards me at all. Even later after we had separated and she wouldn't come clean. I will never get any of those things from her. I know this. I guess my question is how I get past that. I am over missing her. There is no little part of me that wants her back or anything. How do I get over the rage and disgust I feel for her? How do I accept that I am never going to get the things from her that would help me heal? How do I do that on my own? I guess I am trying to understand why I am so angry. It sounds stupid, but after a couple months, I was really at that blah stage, and she just didn't bother me. Now that it's divorce time, I find me seething again. I guess I just find myself wondering why my anger is building again. I figured I was over that part. I really wish I was apathetic towards her. That would be nice. Then maybe I could sleep. And I really wish she would quit dragging her feet on the divorce. I don't get that either. She's not actively fighting it, just not getting me back the paperwork I need to finish the divorce. The thing that is bugging me is back in April we had a conversation about divorcing. Her saying she wasn't sure she wanted to divorce. Me being cold because she is still lying about the whole thing. I don't want to be with a person like that. Towards the end of the conversation, she alluded to the fact that she may have been sexually assaulted while I was deployed. That's where all the weirdness came from. but she wouldn't come right out and say it. Here's the thing, I don't buy it. All her behaviors don't seem to say some traumatic incident like that happened, but she does follow the WS script pretty closely. So, my question is there a way to find out? She has said that she has been back down to my state a couple times for court. So if something did happen, someone was arrested and there should be a way to find out. This bugs me because I am sure that I am right. My gut says I am right. Just bothers me, I guess. Let's see what she has done. She let him stay at our house for 3 weeks while I was gone. She took him, my stepson, and her to Disneyland. I saw pics of her kissing this guy on the cheek. Found an open pill gun morning after pill package in one of our vehicles along with the receipt dated the day after she got back from Orlando. My stepson asked me why mommy was kissing OM and said she loved him. Found pregnancy tests with 2 gun that she bought a week and a half before I got home. After multiple confrontations, I gave her the ultimatum. He goes or I do. She proclaims there's nothing going on. She continues to see him. So, I leave her. That's just the highlights. But you can see why I think this is all crap. D will be done in less than 30 days. I've been done with her since the day I told her I wanted a D last year. Now I guess I need a way to deal with the anger. Sad thing is, I'm pretty sure she sold her family on it. But in the end, I guess it doesn't matter. It's a shame. Her family are wonderful people and don't deserve that. But she would lie to them rather than have to admit what really happened. I would be willing to admit that she made that story up more for their benefit than for me. She had to tell them something when she moved back in with them. Yes, I should have exposed. Too late now, I guess. But like I said, it doesn't matter now. With luck, the D will be done before the end of August. Story 2. My mate and I have been together for 11 years. Lived together for the last 10. When we first met, he told me that in his prior marriage he was always angry. He would wake angry, be angry with his wife, his kids, everyone. The man I met was nothing even close to what I would describe as an angry person. He told me he felt like a new man since he had met me. His mother and children even told me many times over the years that he was a much nicer person since I had come into his life. We have had many trials and tribulations over the years. He had met issues, but weathered many storms and got through it all. Over the last couple of years, however, I have noticed he is an angry man most of the time. Mind you, his anger is rarely directed at me. It is directed to everyone else in the world. I dread even watching the news because he is constantly spewing out angry tirades. I hear the same stuff day after day after day. He complains about races of people, the government, his co-workers. You name it. He also speaks very loudly when doing so and uses the F-bomb every other word. At times it is painful to hear. He just seems so darn angry so darn often. Okay, so as of late, he is really disliking his job. He has been with the same company for over 20 years and runs a division. He is paid very well. But I tell you, the way he goes on about work and the hours he puts in, you would think it was his own business. He is angry with the owner and constantly upset over the way the owner sees fit to run his company. I have told him why not let him run it. You do your job and collect your handsome paycheck. That's what I do at my job. I leave work and I leave it there. I rarely discuss work when I get home. So anyway, we have friends, Israeli, who live in Michigan, and this fella wants to sell the business to my guy. They work in the same industry. My guy is keen on this as he feels he will be rid of all the garbage that he works with. Truthfully, his issues will follow him wherever he goes. So, I tell him, I can't leave. I have 3 children here whom I love, a job I love, a new home I have worked so hard on, etc. He gets annoyed and then says, "Guess I will just have to stay here and be miserable." Great. How is that supposed to make me feel? After a few hours I have time to think about it and I am really annoyed. I sent him an email telling him I know he is miserable lately and if leaving would make him happy then maybe he should do it. What else am I going to say? I offered advice to him about dealing with work, but he doesn't listen. So, the email seemed like the only option. He was furious when he read it and then demanded I give him $10,000 that he put into our house. I am devastated, really am. We have been having this type of blowout every 4 or 5 months now because we just sweep the issues under the rug instead of trying to get help for them. If only I didn't love him so deeply, but I do. I have come to realize that I am in love with an angry man and the nice man who was with me for a few really isn't who he is. What do I do? My heart is broken. He feels that he is the victim in all of this. A couple of things. 1. I didn't marry him. 2. I didn't really think, no, he was an angry man. I honestly thought it was his prior marriage that made him angry. I sincerely didn't know he was an angry man in general. It took many years before the really angry man reared his ugly head, and by then I was very much in love and really in deep with him. We have never seen a therapist to work on things. Wish it is something we would have done. I would gladly have gone. Thank you for the reply. However, I guess unless a therapist was involved there is no way our situation would improve. We would keep having this happen over and over and over again. My comment: what advice you got for OP number 2? And what you think of the ending of story 1? Comment down below, and see you in the next story.